Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, people, make sure that you lot are smashing up the likes. Make sure that you are subscribing to the channel. And listen, big 3 points today, man. Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1. And I'll be real. I know I'm going to see some ops today talking about, oh, you play the Liverpool team that are on the beach. Oh, you play the rotated Liverpool team. Oh, Liverpool this and Liverpool that. I thought Liverpool had a great squad. I thought they had a great squad. Yeah. They should have been able to handle, Endo and Harvey Elliott starting and Curtis Jones starting. Because Curtis Jones, he was man of the match last time we played them, bro. He scored against us as well, blood. Yeah? You might love to come to me in the comments and crash it on me in the comments talking about Liverpool squad. Well, they use their squad today and we beat them, blood. Yeah? I don't give a shit if these guys were drunk. I don't care if they've won the league already because that wasn't the narrative a few weeks ago. The narrative a few weeks ago was Chelsea have a tough May. They've got the hardest end to the season out of everyone that's going for top 5 right now. I don't think they're going to make it. Yeah? Every single op I kept talking to was telling me, I don't think you guys are making it. And I'll be real. Even myself, I said, yo, I've got no confidence in this team right now because we're not scoring goals. Yeah? We're not being clinical in front of goal. But the past 3-4 games, I've actually been getting a little bit more confidence in the team because I'm seeing us actually taking our chances. Yeah? I'm seeing us getting over the line. I'm seeing us defending quite well, right? And today was a performance we had to make sure we got over the line, right? But once again, Lavia being fit allowed Maresca to be able to invert Caicedo from right back. And I saw a few people today complaining about the lineup and whatnot. He went with the same lineup that he went with last week. So Cucurella, Chalobah and Colwell. You had Caicedo inverting with Lavia, Enzo and Palmer in the midfield. And then you had Neto on the right, Madueke left wing, Jackson up top, right? And for me, Caicedo inverting against the big teams is one of the best options we can go with right now because it gives us the best balance in midfield, yeah? I saw a few people before the game complaining. I asked them, okay, how are you going to, how are you going to start Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer, right? A few people were telling me you can play Palmer right wing. But I'll be so real. I'd rather Palmer and Enzo be centrally together because like you saw today, we'll talk about Cole Palmer because today was vintage Cole Palmer, right? I would rather see Cole Palmer and Enzo creating centrally like they did today and having actual width on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Because you saw Palmer today was getting the ball a couple of times in the middle and playing the passes, the through balls to Neto, through balls to Madueke, right? If Palmer's the one that's playing right wing, he's not playing those passes, bro. You know what I mean? Because he ain't gonna be in that position to play that pass. You know what I'm saying? Some people might say, oh, you can overlap Reece James and that, but you know that most of the time Maresca's not going to do that. You know what I mean? So, yes, Reece right now might not be in the 11 for certain games, but it is what it is, yeah? We've got a very good squad of some important players in there, like of Reece James. He's going to start many games, yeah? There's going to be many games like today where he doesn't start the game just to solidify it a little bit. Well, you have to see how the game goes and whatnot, like today, and then you bring him on, right? And then there's certain games where you will start him because at the end of the day, he's still our captain. You know what I'm saying? I think you're going to see a lot more of Reece in the games, in the smaller games where teams are sitting back and you don't need a Lavia and a Caicedo. You know what I'm saying? But when you're playing against the bigger teams, you need both of them in there, bro. You need more physicality because usually it's just Caicedo in there. I know Enzo is not the worst off the ball, but Caicedo and Lavia is completely different to Caicedo and Enzo and Palmer, right? Because when you talk about physicality, it's only really Caicedo. You know what I mean? But listen, Liverpool started the game off quite sharply. You had Salah, got the ball in a wide position, tried to cross it in, and that was the theme of their day. Yeah, these crosses constantly. We'll talk about that in a second as well. But Sanchez gets a good hand on it, right? I could see these lot trying to get warm and whatnot. But in the build-up play for the goal that we scored instantly, bro. Yeah? Starts from Chalobah to Lavia. You see Palmer, he peels off of Jones there. You know what I mean? Creates a nice little angle in between the lines. Lavia finds a nice little pass for him. Perfect weight of pass. You know what I mean? Palmer goes out to the wing to Neto. And you've got Enzo Fernandez crashing the box, scoring another goal. Yeah? And right now, I'm seeing Enzo's GA is moving crazy, bro. Yeah? So Enzo's GA right now has got 20 GA. So he's got, in the Prem, that is, he's got 9 goals. He's got 9 goals, 11 assists. Yeah? You've got a bunch of people here that are trying to say that Maresca hasn't improved anyone in the team. Yeah? I know there's the likes of Gusto that have kind of regressed, and Palmer, again, we'll talk about him in a second because today it was very clear the difference in his game. Yeah? But there's players like Enzo that have improved. There's players like Caicedo, who again today was brilliant, that have improved. Yeah. So no one's going to tell me that, bro. You know what I mean? But I thought that build-up play was fantastic, bro. And again, it's another example as to why Lavia is so key for us, bro. Yeah. No one can try to tell me this guy is not a key player because he's never fit. He's never fit. That's just lazy analysis, bro. No one's talking about his fitness. We're talking about what he offers when he's here, right? And when he's here, you can see exactly what he offers, bro. Today on the ball, the amount of times that these guys are trying to press him, and it's honestly like he doesn't get out of first gear because it's so natural to him, bro. He's so slick on the ball. He's so good at dropping his shoulder. His passing today, bro. Yeah. Jackson, I don't understand why Jackson loves to ball watch, because this guy could have actually helped us score another goal quickly. He could have got an assist. You know what I mean? He was offside, I think, 4 times today, bro. His awareness is so bad. There's bare times in games where I'm like, bro, are you even watching the game? It feels like you're watching the game with us. You're playing, you know? Yeah. If he recognized there that he was in so much space, he would have dropped in a little bit there. Lavia punches the ball to him nicely. The pass is just perfect, right? Attackers love those sort of passes because that's the sort of pass that has information on it. It tells you how to take the ball. You can quickly take it on the half turn. You can quickly punch it to someone else, right? He plays the ball to Madueke. Madueke scores, but he's offside. Yeah, that's something that this guy needs to work on, bro. I think his concentration is all over the place. His IQ is all over the place at times. I know in the second half there was a chance where he ran a little bit wide in the channel, and Madueke could have played it a little bit sooner. But bro, there you just hold your line a bit, because you've got Quansah for pace. And you saw Quansah today was panicking, struggling, playing like Quagmire today, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. You need to have more IQ, bro. You need to be more switched on, Jackson, because today's not the first time I've spoken about you switching off and being reactive rather than proactive. Yeah. Someone that's sharp there that can recognize that Lavia is going to play that pass. They're going to drop in quickly, bro, and take that ball. Yeah. But I thought Lavia today in the build-up and again off the ball defensively, he was very good, right? We gave Liverpool the ball most of the time in the first half. You know, it was all about them trying to break us down. It reminded me of when we went to Anfield, where we were the ones that were dominating the ball, but then they were the ones that were trying to soak up the pressure and counter us, you know? And potentially that could have been the plan today. But for me, I think the fact that we scored quite early is the reason why the plan in game kind of changed. You know what I'm saying? I think if we didn't get that goal early, I think you would have seen Chelsea dominate the ball a lot more. You know what I mean? But I think even though they were dominating the ball, they kept trying to find that back post. You had Gakpo trying to whip it in back post. You know, Salah trying to whip it in back post. But we dealt with it quite well today. Yeah. Defensively, again, Sanchez, I can't complain about him today. His cross collection was good. His kicking weren't the greatest, but it weren't the worst. There was a couple of times where he found a few people. Yeah. I thought Cucurella today, obviously we didn't play him last time we went to Anfield. I think Gustav started at left back in that game. He absolutely locked up Salah, bro. Yeah. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, these guys aren't even trying, bro. Liverpool were trying to win today, bro. I could see them trying to win. But defensively, we were good. Cole today in the box, very good. Yeah, dealing with anything that came in. Chalobah today, very good again. There's a time where, you know, McAllister came on. He tried to slip it through to Nunes. And then Chalobah just gets a last-ditch challenge on that one. Yeah. Cole, there's a dangerous cross that came across the box. He gets it. He gets his head on that, bro. You know what I mean? They were very good defensively today. Caicedo, at right back, I thought he did all right as well. Towards the end, you could see he was kind of gassing out a little bit. And I thought that was a good in-game management from Maresca to bring on Gusto, who's a natural right back. He took off Lavia. Obviously, Caicedo went into midfield. And went into midfield, bro. He was brilliant again, bro. Yeah? The way that guy just breaks up play, the way he just sniffs danger, it's long for teams. Yeah? Don't do certain things around Caicedo, because even for that penalty, the way the guy just counter presses is mad. Yeah? I honestly can't wait for Caicedo to be playing further up, bro, because I'm showing you, yeah, the way that guy presses, we are going to be scoring a lot of goals from this guy's press. Yeah? Very similar to what I say about Mark Gill, because Mark Gill will press in, he puts players off. I can think of maybe even at least 5-6 goals we're going to score this next season, even if Caicedo's playing further up, because he just sniffs that danger. He read that situation there. He gets his foot on it quickly. Quansah takes him out, bro. You know what I mean? Props to Enzo, like I said earlier, for getting that goal. You know, but Caicedo today, he was brilliant. Yeah? He was brilliant, especially when he went into the midfield. He was good. You know what I mean? But Cole Palmer today, yeah? Before I even talk about Cole Palmer, let's talk about Neto. I thought Neto was decent in parts. You know, he got a good assist again today. Couple crosses that were quite dangerous on that side as well. Noni on the left-hand side. You know, some of the passes were quite sloppy. That's the only annoying thing about Noni, man. Like, he'll run past people, but then the end product ain't always the greatest, right? Early on in the game, it could have been 2 goals up. Enzo could have had another goal, bro. if he just slips it into Enzo right there, have a little bit more awareness, we score, bro. We're 2 goals up quickly. Yeah, quickly. You know what I mean? But overall, I thought, you know, on that left-hand side, it seems to be working, bro. There's one time where he let the ball run across his body and he just done Trent and he left him. Yeah. But again, the end product was poor. You know what I mean? So now Maresca's unlocking another side to his game. You know what I'm saying? So I thought he had another good performance today. I thought Neto, again, he had another decent performance today as well. Right? But Cole Palmer is the guy that I want to talk about right now. Yeah. Because today I was seeing him in the right half space. Today I was seeing him drifting to the left-hand side. Yeah. And the difference in his game today wasn't the positioning so much. It was just him and his intent, right? The fact that he's trying to run at people. The fact that he's being quite direct, bro. Yeah. The goal that came from the right-hand side was because of him being direct and trying to make people commit. You know what I mean? We scored that goal. Obviously, Kwanzaa our own goal and whatnot. But Palmer is the reason why we scored that goal. Yeah. He goes over to the left-hand side and does something quite similar again and nearly scores. He hits the post this time, right? But the reason why he nearly scores is because once again, he's making the defenders have something to think about. Once again, he's driving into the space. Yeah. And that's something that I spoke about before. Like last week, I said Palmer was the worst one on the pitch because he's getting the ball and his first thought is to just stand on it and try to cross it in. I feel like this guy must have watched my fan cam or something, bro. Because I've been speaking about how static he's been. And if you go check his underlying metrics, his progressive, when he's progressing the ball, like running with it, it's gone down this season. Yeah. Some people will tell you he's had less space and whatnot. But there's been many games this season where I'm seeing Palmer have space in front of him, but he hasn't had the confidence to go into that space, right? And that's what I always say, bro. There's so many intangibles in football, confidence being one of them, right? I was seeing a confident Cole Palmer today. That was vintage Cole Palmer, yeah? No one was talking about his positioning today, and he was playing everywhere, right? Go check his heat map. He was everywhere today, bro, yeah? The through balls that he was playing, last minute of the game, bro, pressured penalty there. We would have won the game already because it was last kick of the game. But for him to take the pressured penalty, bro, it was 16 games without a goal. You know what I mean? I thought he was fantastic today, bro. Yeah? And that's why I always like to hold these players accountable because this is the Palmer that I was seeing last season and the Palmer that I was saying is better than Saka. The Palmer that I was saying is the best player in Europe right now, right? That was him today, yeah? So I don't want people to be babying this guy because he will know himself today that he was different in how he was playing, yeah? Very different. He had a shot on goal as well. Right, it was a decent shot. Alisson gets onto it towards the end of the game. We created some decent chances. Sancho has a chance on goal. You know, Liverpool were giving us problems as well defensively. Like Van Dijk once again, bro, in the box with another header. Yeah, but away from that, we weren't really giving them many clear-cut chances, bro. Yeah, for me, we created the better chances in the game. You know what I'm saying? But Palmer was the driving force for us to go get that W. Yeah. Now people are gonna try and move the goalposts and say, oh. If you try to use as an example as to how he's turned up against a big team, they'll tell you, oh, well, it was towards the end of the season, man. It doesn't matter, man. These men were drunk and these men were this and these men were that. Yeah. But if we had dropped points today or lost today, it would be, oh, you can't even beat a drunken side. You can't even beat a drunken side. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't add up. People with agendas, I always catch these lot in pickles, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very easy to catch people in pickles because their logic contradicts themselves, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm very, very happy for Palmer today. Very, very happy for the team. Very happy for Maresca as well. Like I said, I thought the in-game management was good. To bring on Gusto, to bring on Reece towards the end of the game. Yeah. People don't get mad that Reece might not start certain games, bro. It is what it is. Yeah. Let this guy get some fitness. This is the longest time we've seen Reece fit in 3 years, bro. Don't be too greedy. You know what I mean? Over these years, when I've seen Pep winning, it's because Pep was doing up Pep roulette. 1 week is Mahrez. 1 week is Bernardo Silva. 1 week is this guy. 1 week is that guy. Yeah. 1 week is Foden starting here. 1 week is KDB over here, bro. Yeah. That's how you keep the team refreshed. That's how you keep competition. That's how you make yourself unpredictable. Yeah. It's not going to be every game where we're inverting Caicedo, bro. That's going to be too predictable. But games like today, you need to do it. You need to do it. Football is about being a team player, bro. So Reece needs to be a team player as a captain and say, bro, do you know what? Today, it's not best suited for me. I'll come on off the bench and help the team. Right? And the next game, I'll start. Yeah? That's how it's got to be. So I'm happy for Maresca because there's a lot of people right now that are hoping that this team fails to suit their agenda. They don't want to be proven wrong. They'd rather be proven right about their agenda, about the manager and all of these things. Yeah? But it's a massive, massive 3 points, man, because right now I'm looking at the table. You've obviously got us level on points with Newcastle. Brighton got shagged in that game as well, man. They should have had a penalty before Newcastle scored their penalty that they got. Newcastle got 3 penalties, bro. 2 of them were disallowed as well. Yeah, they weren't penalties. Then the last one, to be fair, was a penalty, but Brighton should have had one shortly before that. You know what I'm saying? But looking at it right now, we're level on goal difference with Newcastle. We're both 4th, 5th, whatever you want to call it. Forest are playing Palace tomorrow. That's not going to be an easy game. Obviously, Villa, they're 3 points behind us as well, right? But all we got to do is keep plugging away. Keep plugging away. You go to Newcastle next week. You don't lose that game. Yeah? You don't lose that game because it's in our hands right now. Yeah? Man United, when they play us, I think they're going to play us 4 days before their final on that. We have to deal with them. Yeah? Brentford dealt with them today. It should have even been more than 4, to be honest with you. Yeah? And then you've got Forest last game of the season. Hopefully by then we would have wrapped it up already. Yeah? But I am so happy with the team right now, man, because I've been stressed. These men have been stressing me in front of goal. Yeah? So it's very, very nice that, you know, we're picking up these 3 points at the minute. But definitely man of the match for me today. I'm definitely going to say Palmer for me. Definitely man of the match for me today. It's been a minute since I've said that, man. I can't remember the last time I gave him man of the match. I think the last game must have been Newcastle, bruv, which was last year. You know what I'm saying? But listen, people, let me know what you think of my thoughts. Let me know who your man of the match was. Let me know what you thought of Maresca today as well. All you people that like to criticize him. But today, bro, he did nothing wrong, bro. The lineup was spot on. And like I said, the in-game management today was absolutely spot on. Yeah? Big him up. In a bit, people.